Salisha Show, Black Hair in the Big Leagues, and I am so excited. I'm Salisha, your host. Today, the girl we got on the line today, I feel like she came out of the womb being a star. And it's funny because I just got to see her in action the other day. Let me just tell you a little bit about her. So she got her BFA from Pace University, and I'm not sure what the order of all this is, but she was on the first national tour of Once on This Island as a storyteller, understudying Moon. Come on, already doing the leads, okay? She made her Broadway debut as the standby for Cinderella in Bad Cinderella, which is significant because we got Black Cinderella. We've got this in common. Come on. I don't think it was at the same time, but both of us were Black Cinderella standbys for shows that were almost across the street from each other. She has her original music, and she was Ariel in The Little Mermaid at the Muny. Y'all know what the Muny is? The Muny is the biggest regional theater in America. Let's go. And right now she is starring as the lead Laurette in the new musical Take the Lead, playing right now at Papermill Playhouse. Y'all, please help me welcome Savy Jackson.
Thank you so much.
How are you? Are you rested? Are you tired?
Oh my God, I slept. So I've been actually doing something for Audible for the past couple weeks. So I haven't had a proper day off since the week before our designer run. So like March 11th was like my last Monday that I had free. So I slept all day
Are we in
yesterday.
April?
I know. I'm aware. I'm fully aware. My body is aware. I'm in sleep debt and I'm paying it off 1 hour at a time. I literally woke up at noon yesterday and I was up for maybe like 5 hours and then I went back to bed. Woke up at 9.
Oh.
I was in the bed all day yesterday. I am exhausted. But I've paid off some of the sleep debt. I'm like, I just had a voice lesson with Mike Ruckles. Shout out to Mike Ruckles.
I love Mike Ruckles. He's the bomb. In
He's
fact, for my lessons with him, I'll get there early. I get there early just so I can listen to the people.
Right, and then I'm be taking notes. That's exactly what I did today. I'm like, wait, that's a good.
Listen, because the notes transcend just the person
really
you're talking to.
They really do.
You talk to me in third person, he'll be like, because Savy's voice.
No, literally.
He's like on a different planet, but I am all about it and I will drink all of that Kool-Aid.
Right? Yes, I'm here for it.
Okay, can you help me? Can you walk me through the timeline of what is this timeline of after you graduated? Did you get the tour before you graduated? What is this?
Yes, I actually auditioned for the tour during my freshman year.
How dare you?
Yeah. I literally, and that was my second professional audition ever. Like I auditioned, I remember, so I started September 2018 at Pace. And I think around like March of the next year, Tara Rubin, they came to my school to like audition the Pace kids for Dear Evan Hansen. And that was my first professional audition ever. So I was like, you know what? In case I do really bad at this audition, let me put a name that's not my name on my resume in my headshot. And the name that I put was Savy Jackson. And I wound up like getting a call back, and then a month later, I woke up at like 3 a.m. to go to the open call of Once on This Island on tour, and that was like my second like professional, like big gig audition ever. And I just like magically booked it. So I guess that's also why like Savy Jackson stuck.
Baby, what is your name? You're like, it's Alana.
Savannah is the full name.
Okay.
Full name reveal.
Okay.
And I have 2 last names too. So yeah, I was gonna be a 3-name person with the hyphenated last name, but Savy Jackson just kind of stuck.
It's cute. It's so cute. I was like, should I name a kid that one day? Savy is a great name. Savy is a great name.
Thank you so much. It was honestly a random nickname that like one of my childhood friends called me when I was like 7. So No one really called me Savvy before like that became my equity name, which is crazy.
Okay, wait.
Um,
So did you that was freshman year?
hmm Yeah, so then I left, and Once on this Island, we started rehearsals in September of 2019. So I took a year off, and
Okay.
like when my sophomore year would have started, that's when I started rehearsals for Once on this Island,
Hmm.
and we were supposed to run until July, but then of course COVID came around, and
Boo.
right March, I remember I literally got to play T Moon the day before like Broadway shut down, and we were like, what's
What
gonna
city were
happen?
you in?
What's happening? We were in Las Vegas. So we ran through the weekend because Las Vegas was like, I don't see
We
any
don't
problem here.
care.
We
Wow.
don't care. We got money to make. You know what I'm saying? Like people were still partying. Like, so we were like kind of just like in a different world of like not really understanding what was
The
going on.
gravity of, yeah.
Right? Yeah, yeah. And we like Broadway shut down like I think like on a Wednesday or Thursday, and we still came to work all the way up until Sunday. Like we were on stage on Sunday, and then that's when like, the company manager was like, "Okay, producers are kind of just pulling this. We're gonna send you guys home. You'll fly out tomorrow.
Wow.
But we'll see you all in 2 weeks in Los Angeles." But of course that never happened. So I decided, might as well just go back to school because my plan was gonna be like, if the tour closed in July, I'd give myself like 6 months to get another job and then maybe come back to school in the spring semester. If not, but yeah, and I actually got enough credits like from being on tour. Like I got excused for some classes that I had to like apply to be excused for. So I was able to graduate on time with the class that like I came into Pace with. So I was only there for 3 years technically. Which is so clutch for the pockets, you know what I mean? Like for the student loans and everything.
That is
Um
very clutch.
it
Wait,
really is,
you're
and I'm
rewarded
so
for getting professional work.
yes, yeah, and it's like, cause I mean, it's like I worked in
What?
the industry, so there's like certain things that like I was able to learn just from. They call it experiential learning credits. So I got, I had the experience, so I learned what some of the classes would have taught me, and I'm
I
so
don't
glad that
think a
like
lot of schools do that. In fact, I was almost penalized for working while in school. I got through it, but it was like double duty. I'm
yeah,
this like, yeah, what a great like educational design.
right, yeah,
You're
because I
going to
was able to like
school for
truly.
this.
Yes, we're in school for this, and like, and it's expensive. Like like the background that I come from, and like being the only person that I knew in my area that was pursuing theater professionally and like majoring in musical theater, getting an opportunity to be on tour. That's not something that I could just be like, no, I'm in school. I need to turn that down. Yeah.
Which is a
So
lot of people's stories, or they take it and then they have to drop out of school.
yeah, and that sucks because I was so grateful that I was able to go back to school because like having the training and the education and also like working professionally and then being able to be in a classroom again, it just supplemented my education so much
Yeah, you
in a
learned
way
a
that
lot
would
on the
not have
job.
happened. Yeah, it wouldn't have
Yes,
happened if I just
yes.
did school and then worked. Cause you really like you learn so much from the gigs. Like I learned so much every gig that I have. So I'm so grateful that I was able to like go to school, have a gig, come back to school, and like and then I'm going through school with a lot more information and tools in my toolbox that are going to help me take even more out of the program.
I have an opinionated question for you. In
Hmm.
your opinion, is school harder than real life or life harder than school?
Real life is 1000% harder than school. Like there it's I
Absolutely.
think so. Because you school doesn't, at least from my experience like with pace, it really doesn't teach you the ins and outs of the business and like these gigs that we do in a way that you truly only get from experience. Like, we do theater. We play and we get to have fun, but also like this is a profession, this is a business. There are like protocol, and there's right things to do at the job, and there's things that you shouldn't do at the job that you don't really learn until you have the experience and you get exposure to people that have been in the business for a while. And then also you get to like, in acting class, you're in school, you learn how to act, and you like have a monologue, or you like learn how to act through the song. But what they don't teach you and what they can't teach you until you do it is like, how am I going to do this 8 times a week. My first gig right out of school, so I did Once on the Silent on tour, came back to school, did my junior year and then my senior year. And I wound up missing graduation because I had to leave school 3 weeks early to
Ugh,
do Hood in Florida.
work.
Yeah, I did Hood the musical at Oslo Rep, and it
Is it good?
was,
Do you like it?
oh my God, it was I am obsessed with the music in that
Okay,
show.
I've heard good things, and I just wanted to hear from
It's
somebody
it's
else.
so good, and I got to work with Eleanor Scott and like Queen. I'm obsessed with her.
But
Like it
also
was
the guy
just
who wrote it, he did like so much. Like he
right.
wrote "Tu
Yes,
Wong Fu," and
yes, exactly that,
that's like a
exactly that.
deep cut. I love "Tu Wong
Mrs.
Fu."
Strata Jones, like,
Yes,
yes, the
yes,
music was so good, and like to be able to be in a new musical, like right outside of school, was so informative. We cut like 10 minutes of the show in previews. That's something that you don't learn about in school, like
no,
how to go through a preview process, and like
yeah,
what works for you in that process, you know what I mean? And like I
yeah.
had like a really emotionally um taxing song in that show, and I had to go through the growing pains of like understanding how I get through doing something like that 8 times a week and what works for me.
When did you know you were a star? Baby, I feel like you just got here and you're like, I only do star roles. And if I'm not in the lead, I'm on standby for the lead. When did you know you were a star, Savvy? I feel like it's hard to book a starring role if you don't know who you are.
That's true. You know what I mean? Like I think that like none of us ever feel secure in what we do. Like we will, I know that like when I get to the place of like having a Tony, or like, I'm like Grammy nominated and all these things, I know that I'm still gonna have days where I'm like, what am I doing?
Mm,
What, like, I don't feel confident and secure in this, but like it truly is my love for what we do and what I do that like keeps me going and drives me. So I think that like that definitely is part of it. Like just being able to like walk into a room and just be like, this is who I am. I am very much like silly, goofy, crazy person. I have ADHD, so it's like I have to be a character who is on stage all the time. Like I have to be stimulated at all times. That's why like being able to play these roles really does work out in my favor, because I'm like, if I'm not there have been choreographers. I worked with Phil Colgan doing the Wizard of Oz at Jiva Theater in Rochester,
that's
and
awesome.
there were plenty of times where he'd be like setting choreo, and then he's like, where is Savvy? I just put Savvy here. And I'm like going to get a drink of water. I just, I just need to be stimulated at all times.
Oh my
Like my
God.
brain is just always like go, 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 go. So it's nice that like I really get these lovely opportunities to work on these characters that like require so much out of me, because I always am looking to understand something further, and like really just the most important thing for me is like telling these people's stories in the most authentic ways, and like being able to have characters and opportunities where they allow me to bring my full self to it. Like that was the case for Bad Cinderella, where
I need to
like
ask you about your experience in Bad Cinderella. How was it?
yeah, it was such a wild ride, because that was my first time on Broadway. That was like my first big gig post school. And it kind of came out of nowhere because I did Once on the Silent on tour, and I connected with my agent in April 2020. I did 2 full years of auditioning, 2 full years of no's. My first job was in April 2022 after graduation, which was Hood. And I
I
found
mean,
out
to be
about
fair, there was not a lot happening starting April
there was
2020.
there was there was not a lot
There
happening.
was
There
not a
really
lot
was not a
happening.
lot happening. And then so like once 2020 summer 22 came around, like so much happened at once. Like I booked Bad Cinderella like maybe a few weeks after coming back from doing Hood. And it was just such a learning experience, and I'm so grateful that like I got to play the lead role, but being in a position where I can see the show so
Yeah,
often. Since I
yeah,
was the alternate, I played Cinderella every Sunday.
that's
And
awesome.
yeah, right, because like there's just so much that you don't get, like, if all you do is be in the show, like, if I didn't have the
You
experience
have
of
to just
swinging
look
these
from the
shows.
corner of your eye.
Yes, yeah, you don't, like, understand what your show looks like when you zoom out and you see the whole thing. And,
Yeah.
like, and what you can learn from that is just so helpful, like, as an actor, and, like, it's carried me into, like, the other gigs that I do, and also being able to be in a position where, like, I can carve out space for my Cinderella in that
Yes.
experience,
Hello.
and
You're
not just being like,
very different.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And they know this and they recognize this, and it took a lot of me being brave enough to also like advocate for myself to be like, "Oh, I think that Lynette has this amazing thing that she does with her Cinderella, and this is what we set for her design. I think that like this would be much better for my Cinderella. Can we make this happen?"
Is there an example that you can share?
Yes, like this wound up actually changing for all the Cinderellas, but I remember for the design of Cinderella's shoes, they had her in this like sick ass platform boot that was like kind of heeled, and it was like a chunky boot. And at this time, like I started Bad Cinderella right after I like came out as genderqueer, and I was
Am I using the
really.
right pronouns?
Yes, yeah, yeah. You're good. You're good. I go by they she pronouns, so like,
Okay.
and honestly, like anything is good for me. But like being able to have my Cinderella really reflect the way that I felt about my gender at the time was so important to me. And I was just like, I feel like my Cinderella needs to be, I really want her to feel grounded. I really want her in like a flat shoe, a boot. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And that was like different from like the costume design, and this is, that's
wow.
like a kind of scary conversation to have like as an alternate, where it's just like I really want this thing to happen for when I play the role. Can we make it happen? And I talked to the associate director about it, and also my co-star on the show, Jordan Dobson. He was the alternate for Tony in West Side Story on Broadway. And that was his Broadway debut. So our Broadway debut experiences were so similar in that like we're both alternates, we're
Mm,
both like finding our way and like
yeah,
carving out how our version of the character is going to be different, but like our commitment to the story is not any different. So it's just
yeah,
about putting yourself in the position to have those conversations with the creative
yeah.
team and being brave enough to do that, and really just justifying every choice that you make and advocating for yourself is so important. And so that's what I did. And I remember like we were all out for like drinks celebrating our first preview or something like that, and the director came up to me and he was like, "Yes, you can wear flats." And I was like, "Yes, thank you." Yes, he was British. I had to do the accent. But like that was like that really felt like a win for me because I
Yeah,
was
it
so
is a
happy that
win. That is a win that
it
you
really
advocated for
is.
yourself and got the yes.
Yes, right? And it's like it was just so gratifying, and also like I talk about that experience so much with other people too, because it's like as swings and understudies and covers and standbys and alternates, especially in like a new project that's being created, you really have to put yourself in a position of like learning how to advocate for yourself, and also learning how to do that, and that's something else that you don't learn in school. You know what I
Correct,
mean? Like
correct.
how do I discuss how I feel about this line in the show
Yes.
for Cinderella's whole arc if I'm not the one playing the role all the time?
But here's the thing, because if you think about it as it's not about me, I'm not just saying this because there's people who, if this show goes on and has a life and the rights are sold, I'm advocating for all of the people who are coming after me. Because even
Exactly.
if you aren't the original, if you're the standby or you're still in
Yes.
that first group. Your voice matters so much, and you are trailblazing for hundreds, possibly thousands of people after you, depending on how big your show
Yeah.
is.
Right? Yeah, and also
But
just setting like the setting changing the standard to like from having it be like, like you're an understudy, you're a swing, you're a standby, you don't really, you can't do anything but the blocking that's given to you, and you have to do it the way that you're told to do it. That should not be the case. You should be able to have a conversation and really understand, and also be flexible and know what you can and can't change, know what you can and can do differently, and understanding how to just as the actor, make everything feel the most authentic for you within the parameters you're given.
Would you ever understudy again?
Truly, and the only like a big part of that is because I'm like, y'all, I'm only 24, but my brain is fried. There is one role at a time that can exist within this tiny little brain. My shoulders have the weight of the world on them, and I can't, I just can't, physically cannot anymore. But like, it's a matter of like wanting to have that, like, artistically be stimulated in that way of like being able to like have this character and like having free reign over like what happens with them, like, when it comes to originating something. And
Yes.
also having the flexibility too, because I make my own music outside of theater, and
Yeah,
I
you
love recording
do.
music. Yeah, and it's like swings and understudies, that is a big job. That's more than just showing up to do your show and going home. You have understudy rehearsals during the day. You're constantly reviewing stuff. You need to make
As
sure that
if
like
8 shows a week isn't already a lot that you have to be in the building for. The rehearsals on
exactly.
top of that and the not knowing when you're on, some people love that, others
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. And
It
I'm grateful that I had that experience too, because my first gig, like you said, with Once on This Island, not only did I understudy T Moon, I was a swing in that. And there
Oh,
were
I didn't realize
actually
that.
more than once I had to swing on mid show. So I've gotten the full experience of like being the theater artist, from being the swing to being the standby to
Wait. More than once it was a mid-show swing on? Girl, what happened? What was
I
happening?
I remember the first time I swung on mid show, I luckily had debuted the role the night before, but I
Okay.
had like an hour's notice. And luckily, I was the biggest fan of Once on This Island. I saw Once on This Island on Broadway when I was a senior in high school, and I was just like,
With
I
Miss Shawns? No,
uh
that was way back when. Oh my
can
god.
you can you imagine? Black don't crack. So it could listen.
I was like, wait a minute. Wait, high school, I'm trying to do the math. Oh, that was the
That was the
revival with
revival.
Alex. That
Hmm.
was when you were in high
Yes.
school. Oh.
That was in fact when I was in high school.
I was like, girl, you saw it with LaShawn.
Like, yes, I'm actually 59.
Wow,
I
you
have
look
worked.
great,
Thank
Savvy.
you. Black don't crack.
Wow. Wow. I heard it's your birthday today.
It actually is though. Well, not today, but it's tomorrow.
I don't know if I believe you. I seen a clip on your Instagram that says you tell everybody it's your birthday every day. Uh-uh. So
Well,
wait.
and you know what's funny? I thought that that trend started in Bad Cinderella, because like I love attention. And as you know, you were a standby before. In the rehearsal process, we don't get much attention. We sit there all day and we take our notes and then we go home. So I was like, you know what? Tomorrow's
It's
gonna
my
be my
birthday.
birthday. It's We sang happy birthday for somebody, and I was like, wait, tomorrow should be my birthday. I got all my friends to go to Glass House Tavern. They sat us in that dining room in the back with that long dining room table.
Oh, God.
And like, I'm not even lying, like half of my friends showed up thinking it was my actual birthday.
You said, Heifers, none of y'all know me. Y'all don't know my real birthday.
Well, it was a social experiment because my birthday is, I actually can't reveal that information, but let's just say that people were wishing me happy birthday and they spent my birthday with me like 4 or 5 months prior. And I was like, we were together on my actual birthday, and you're
And
telling
they
me happy
didn't
birthday?
question it.
Yeah. People really do fall for it. It's just really because, okay, so I I know that it's April Fool's, but like
I forgot
my
about that.
actual birthday is on April 1st. And like I've had to just go so
Today
long
is
with,
your actual birthday?
yes, and it's
No, no,
no, listen.
no.
I've had to go so long with like telling people like, oh, like it's my birthday, and they don't believe me because it's April 1st. So like that's why I just pick a random day.
Wait, Savvy, today's your birthday? I don't know if you're pulling
I
my
don't
leg.
actually celebrate it on today though, because it's April Fool's. Like no one ever, my whole entire life, no one has ever believed me. So I've just picked a random day. And as of late, I just pick multiple random days.
I'm sorry, there's so many layers here. I don't know if I'm getting hella punked right now or if I should be saying happy birthday.
You don't have to because I don't celebrate it today anymore.
But of
Because
all the things, that's just so funny. Of all the days you say, your Instagram says you say it's your birthday all the time, but it's your actual birthday today. If
and we
I
have
find
to.
out in 3 months that your birthday is not April 1st, I will find you in Times Square. I will find you and I will say, Heffa, what?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if you're gonna actually find out when my real birthday is. My Facebook says it's like in February. My Instagram says it's like August. It's just that's just one thing about me that people will never know.
Wow, that's a good safety thing.
I love it.
That's a very good safety thing. No one
I
will ever
just
be
love
able to
being a little
guess
trickster, a little jokester.
because people be using their birthdays for so many things, and it's
Right? Free dessert. People will sing to you at rehearsal.
girl, you are so funny.
Attention.
I was saying like to break into your security things. You're like, yeah, girl, free dessert.
Well, if anybody wants to steal my identity and acquire my $40,000 debt from school, by all means,
Take it.
take it. I will personally DM you my social security number.
Okay, so Savvy, you are so incredibly lovable. I am so obsessed with you. I got to first lay eyes on you at New 42nd Street Studios when you were doing the press day for Take the Lead, which, by the way, goosebumps just saying that.
It was
It was
crazy.
great. It was
Thank you
great.
so much.
What the? I wasn't ready. I was like
Ooh,
3 different choreographers. I don't know what. Baby, the energy was lit. It took so much for me to not jump out of my chair. And
mm-hmm.
then you came out and you were so cute. And it felt like this 90s love dream. You and your
Aw.
co-star. I was like, wait, this is hot.
Right?
Yes. And it felt like, I don't know if I'm right with the decade, but it felt like nostalgia to me, even though I'd never like heard it before. It just felt like a vibe. You ready?
Yeah.
How is it going?
It's like, it's so incredible and so rewarding. Like, you were able to see this because you were at press day, but like, I remember after me and Vince did Don't Get Too Close, I like couldn't help but just like literally leap for joy because Vince and I, and one other castmate, Matthew Rish, we are the only cast members that were part of the first ever 29-hour reading that happened in April 2023.
Oh,
And we have stuck with the project each iteration since.
awesome.
And so to be able to like take it from like the first demo that I heard and singing it at the 29-hour reading in that same room in New 42. Every time we've done it, we've been on that floor in New 42.
That's cool.
Right? So to like be able to go from that to like actually performing it for people and just having a crowd that's not just, like the 29-hour readings, you do it for like investors, money people, people that are interested in
Boring.
becoming part.
They're boring.
Right? It's like that's part of the process that like me as the actor, I'm like, I have to stay away from that side. I just sing the songs and do the dances and hope you like it. But like it was so beautiful to truly just share it with people who are there to enjoy it.
Yes.
It felt so good. And we did our first preview um on Saturday night, and it was just like another wild ride. Like I hadn't felt that scared shitless in so long
I mean,
to
you had
do
to have felt
theater.
something similar at the Muny. I mean, that's
I
like
did.
10,000 seats or more.
I
And
know.
you're
It's
Ariel.
so weird. I was not nervous at all doing the Muny. Like
What are you
it's
are
it's something about like my Ariel's entrance to the show. She does the world above. I get raised on this rock and I get to just like see everyone in the crowd because it's still daylight. And and before I would do that song at the Muny, they do the national anthem before every show. The orchestra plays the national anthem. um and I would be sitting on the rock getting ready at that time, so all the kids that sit in the front row on the right side could see me sitting on the rock. And they'd be like looking over and they'd be like waving to me, and I get to like wave back to the kids and stuff. And like, so like getting to play Ariel in particular too, that was just like so easy to not
So
feel scared, because
cool.
it wasn't Savvy. It was Ariel for these kids, and it wasn't about me at all. It was like
You're speaking to my
truly
little
for
Disney heart right now. It
it was
wasn't
so
Savvy, it was Ariel. Okay. Back to take the lead.
yes.
Okay, so Vince is your co-star.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys know each other before? Because your chemistry is like.
We People have asked us that every single iteration we've
I
done.
was like texting my
We
husband. I was like, "Baby, what are you doing after this?"
I love it. I love it. No, we literally met doing the show, and it's crazy how like, we just do getting the offer for a 29-hour reading of a show you haven't heard about, and we just connected and our voices just mesh so well, and we have such great chemistry. And I mean, he makes it so easy. But like, it truly is
You
like,
sound good too.
he is Vincent Jamal Hooper. That man can sing down.
I was
It's
like,
crazy. Yes, literally. I'm like, don't try and out sing me now, girl. We be having our little riff offs, okay? It's
okay.
amazing.
So I know I'm jumping the gun. I know. Do we have a theater yet?
That's a good question. I'm asking the same questions. I'm asking the same questions.
How is it being received at Papermill?
Um, I think that like we've literally only done 2 previews. So it's like it's
Okay.
so early, but like the audiences love the show so
Okay.
much.
Okay.
We even, like we had a 1:30 p.m. matinee. The wine and cheese crowd and older, and they were living for the show. Like I was genuinely surprised at like how like the energy of a Sunday matinee that we
Okay. So
got.
the people who are watching this or listening to this in post on the podcast, the matinee crowds are usually asleep. They're usually much older,
Yeah.
and this is just the thing they do once a month, and it's like the energy is it's just a little bit lower
Yeah.
energy. So Savvy is saying that it was lit at the matinee. She said the cheese, what cheese crowd?
The wine and cheese crowd and older.
The wine and cheese crowd was lit. I can't wait to see it. It goes, oh wait, 1 minute, I got a little banner.
Yes.
Okay, it goes now through April 27th at Papermill Playhouse out in Jersey, right? It's Jersey?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Melbourne.
Jersey and Melbourne. And we think it's good. It's a good show.
It's a great show. It just has so much heart. And
Wait, can you tell me though, like, what is it about?
it is about, so the show is about Pierre Dulaine, who is a real person. He is a ballroom instructor, who, in the show at least, he goes through like a breakup with his partner, and he's kind of trying to find himself and prove to his partner that he cares more about winning a gold medal, or like, having like accolades and fame and fortune. And he stumbles upon one of the Drake High School students, played by Vincent Jamal Hooper. Character's name is Rock. And he winds up going to this high school and gets roped into filling in as a teacher for the arts elective class. So we meet him like as Drake High School students, this man in a tuxedo with a crazy accent from all over the world. And he comes in and he's like, I'm going to teach you all how to dance. And we're like, what? This is an art appreciation class. Like, we're used to having teachers just come in and do crosswords and leave us alone. And he comes in to try and teach us how to ballroom dance at that, and not like, not that ballroom. We have like, it's like waltz, tango ballroom, like Fred and Ginger and all that kind of stuff.
And it's
So,
hot too. I was like, ballroom, how is that? Why do I care about that? It was
and then
hot.
you see it and you're like, whoa. Like the Dancing with the Stars viewing gonna go way up after this show. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it's so incredible. But that's pretty much what the show is about. And the show just explores Pierre's relationship with the Drake students as he like teaches us a style of dance that is completely foreign to us. But in reality, it has so many like black and brown roots to it. So that's like the beauty of this show, is that like we're experiencing a world that we don't see ourselves in, but really is so innate to some of us because it really comes from us.
What do you hope people feel when they watch it?
I hope that people feel this has been like talked about a lot amongst like team members and people in the cast. Like the show really does explore like the teacher student bond and how important that is. And I really hope that people seeing the show either can like live vicariously through us if they haven't had that experience, of having like a teacher that is so important to them and has really changed their lives, because that is just such a beautiful relationship. And everyone deserves to have that, and not everyone does. And that's not like a faux pas on any teacher or anything like that, because also like teachers in this country need to be taken care of so much more than they actually are.
So much more than they've
They
really shaped who we are at such a young age, which is the kind of adults we turn into because of who we
yeah.
were at a young age.
Yeah, and the show is so important to me in that aspect too, because my mom is a teacher. Both of her parents were teachers. My mom's grandmother was a teacher and went on to be the first black principal in Alachua County, Florida. Um, and so like
The
I come from
first.
I come from a long line of educators and educators that really do care about their students and value their students. So that's like the show means so much to me in that aspect. And also like I want people to come to this show and feel like they want to dance. Like this show just makes you want to dance and want to move and just let go. And that's what the show does for me too, because I personally was not a dancer before this experience. I have to get better at calling myself a dancer, but I remember like I got, after we did the 29-hour reading and they were ready to move on to staging act 1, they needed to have me come in and do a dance audition to really confirm and solidify that I could continue with the project. And I was like, okay, sounds like the end of the road for me. I had a lot of fun with you guys. When I was honestly on the verge of not going, because like that's just not something that I do well. Like I do it well at the club and in my room, but when I'm like
Listen,
at a dance call, you know what I mean? Like that, I don't have the training, and that is really nerve wracking. But we have such a beautiful team that really um values the talent and heart that everyone in the show and everyone in the cast has, and
yeah.
their love for it. Like there's a line in the show that if you love to do it, you were born to do it. And I do love dancing. I love dance so much. I just don't have, the training to be a confident dancer and know that like I can like go into a dance
But I
call and
feel like
kill it.
Savvy at this point, if you haven't noticed already, the way these productions work, if you can't dance and people love you, first of all, you can dance. I saw you with my own eyes. You just set that record straight. You can dance. But
Thank
if
you.
you can't dance and you are like a bomb singer or a bomb actor, they will have everybody dancing around you and then you doing a pop, pop,
Right?
and no one can tell that you
Yeah.
can't dance because
Yeah.
if it's a weakness for you, they'll change it.
Exactly. And that just speaks to like it's all about the heart that you have and like the love for what you're doing, and you being you matters so much. So yeah, like I'm really grateful for the team for being people that can like work with people of all kinds of dance backgrounds. And I'm having the same experience of the characters in the show and my character in the show of having this completely new style of dance being taught to me and falling in love with it and like feeling like I do belong in it and I
Yeah,
love to do it. So
you
I
do.
was born to do it and I'm doing
You
it now in front of people, which is crazy.
I can't wait to see you. Savvy, thank you for joining me on the Salisha Show on Black Hair in the Big
You.
Leagues. You are so lovely. You are lovely on stage. You're lovely in real life. I am so excited for you. I hope I'm in California right now, but I'll be going back to New York in a week or so. I hope I can catch you. I'm planning on
Yay!
catching you at Papermill Playhouse. I've got some other friends in the show, Kevin Perdito and Justin.
Oh my
Justin.
God, I love Justin. I
Oh,
love me
oh,
some
and
Dion.
Dion Rutherford Lee.
Yes. Hmm.
Yes. And Salome and I were not close, but she's come on the show. She's wonderful. Like she's
Oh my
funny.
God, I do love
Um,
Salome.
So I'm so excited for you. I cannot wait to see the whole show instead of just the snippets that I got. And
It's so good.
you're all, is this all correct? We can follow you at savvy.jackson.
Yes, Savvy.Jackson. Yep.
And make sure you guys, when you see her, to wish her a happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Until next time. Thanks, girl.
Thank you so much, Salisha. You're amazing.
Did we do it?